Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Imagine a video game. We've already played that one. We're going to the middle of November 1982. We were last on the Commodore VIC-20 checking out Galactic Defender. Before we move forward to our next video game, I have to go to Japan and introduce you to our new challenger. Our very next system is a computer system, the Sword M5, brought to us by the Sword Computer Corporation. At some time here in November 1982 is whenever this was released and when we got the first game. If you open up this system and inside check out all the specs, the CPU is the Zilog Z80A running at 3.58 megahertz. The memory for this little beast is 4 kilobytes of RAM, 16 kilobytes of VRAM. The graphics chip is the TMS 9918 video display controller. This is the basis for the VDP chips in the Sega Master System, the Sega Game Gear, and then eventually the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis in the United States. The display for this is 256 by 192 pixels, 16 colors. The sound chip inside is the SN76489. Sega will be using this next year for their home console, if you haven't seen it yet, the SG-1000. We've already heard this sound chip in the arcade for Ladybug, Mr. Do, and at home this sound chip is already in the BBC Micro, the ColecoVision, the Sharp MZ800, the Texas Instruments home computer, the Tomy Tutor, and the Creativision. This uses a hand controller very similar to another Japanese home computer that we recently unveiled called the Tomy Tutor. They called it the Joy controller instead of a joystick controller. Every one of the games we see for this system will be on ROM cartridges. It does take cassettes, but majority of the really good games will be on cartridges unless you know of anything that's really good on cassette. Maybe we'll get it to run. Now, what was the very first game out for the Sword M5 home computer in Japan? The short answer is, I have no idea. So we're just going to be playing the most recent game when this computer was released. And what game was that? Well, let's introduce you to that.
I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending the 3rd International Conference on Science and Technology.
Oh, there he is.
What the heck is that?
What is
I don't know,
that?
but that's another one.
Good gracious, there goes another
Oh
one.
my God, it's multiplying. Oh, it's like real life Dig Dug. He's everywhere. Oh no, they have a dance and a song? Is it like Pac-Man Fever?
Come on, everybody. Take a chance. We're going underground to do the dig dug dance.
Do we actually get to see real Dig Dug? I really hope this is not copyright because this is a hilarious jam. Oh my gosh. They are showing the arcade version only. Yeah, that's what it looks like, at least from the screenshots.
Where are your women now, huh? Where are your women now?
As the score gets
Yes, sir.
multiply.
All right, let's get cracking.
Wow. Yeah, it's a jam. Oh man, this makes me want to play all the Dig Dugs for the remainder of the show.
They're called Lukas, Spider, and Big Duck. All they want is for us to play them so we can all have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun.
There it is. Yeah, it was the arcade one. Yep. That's right. Oh, it's taken the world by storm, and that is our very next game. For the brand new home computer in Japan, let's play some Dig Dug on the Sword M5. Now, in Japan right now, there's a lot of Japanese computers this already has to compete with. The Fujitsu FM8's out there, the Fujitsu FM7, F11. Around the same time, the NEC PC 6001, 8001, 8801, 9801, the Sharp MZ, the Pyota, and then later we'll see the Sharp X1, MSX. Hitachi's going to be making computers, Panasonic, Sanyo, the SMC 777, Apple, and Commodore, or here in Japan, but they're really not as popular as the Japanese-made computers. All right, now Dig Dug. Oh man, I can play me some Dig Dug. I love this. So here's the box for the Sword M5 version of Dig Dug. And it looks just like the advertisement flyer for Dig Dug. They use the exact same artwork, if I'm not mistaken. This looks pretty good. We originally saw Dig Dug in the arcades April 1982. So this computer is the very first time you could get Dig Dug at home and play Dig Dug at home. We have not seen or played any other ports of Dig Dug since then. And this one has been brought to us by Namco, or Namco hired some developer to make this, so it may not be exactly in-house, but it's licensed and it's official. This is real Dig Dug on this computer, and it was here first. And that's all we got. Let's pop in and play some Dig Dug. Pop in the cartridge. It's November 18th, 1982. Brought to us by Namco. Namco. This is the 30th game that we've seen from Namco on every system. In the arcade, they brought us stuff like Galaxian, King and Balloon, Pac-Man, Rally X, Galaga, Bosconian, Pole Position, Super Pac-Man. Notice I didn't mention Miss Pac-Man. We're not going to get into that right now. On the Commodore VIC-20, Namco has done 2 games, the Pac-Man Jelly Monsters game and the Rally X Radar Rat Race game. They had to change the name because, the license ran out. On the Atari 2600, we've seen Pac-Man by Namco. On the Atari home computer, we've seen Galaxian by Namco. We've seen Pac-Man also on the Atari home computer. On the Atari 5200, Galaxian and Pac-Man. And we've seen 5 variants of games that are like Dig Dug up to this point. But I really want to see how this plays. The very first time you could ever see that. Oh yeah, let's do this. Pushing 1. Whoa. That is really good for the tunes. And it does it when I move to... Oh, that's awesome. Alright, let's see how well this controls. Okay, yep, nice. It has the hold down feature if you want to hold down and pump slow. But you can also do the pause for a sec. Yeah, just like that. Now let me see if the rocks will work to smash. See if I can lure these guys. Oh yeah, and the rocks work too. Oh man. Now, the music is the first thing that strikes me, because this is pretty good, knowing that this is the very first time we've seen Dig Dug at home. Go, go, go. Let's see if we'll just pause. Give this guy a little juice, just a... Oh. You don't get the nuance in the arcade when you dig, though. Oh, but I can tap really, really fast. So the Joy controller, because I don't believe they had a stick. It was like a disc, similar to the Mattel Intellivision. The Joy controller allows you to move pretty freely, so it feels pretty good. I don't have the digging, though, where I can dig a small sliver of it. Yeah, if you tap it really fast. Let me get this tiny little fruit out of the way here. And I don't think I can hit him through walls, right? No, I cannot. So it looks like... Yeah, I was trying to see if it would work, but it doesn't. It is not arcade perfect, but I mean, you gotta admit, the very first time to see Dig Dug at home, this is very, very well done, and I can see that Namco did this. Wow. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like whenever I'm ready to go south, right here, and when I turn this way and go south, he walks out and then goes down. In the arcade, you were able to dig like a little sliver away, but here, this Dig Dug, you cannot. But to be fair, most of the other ports we're going to be seeing around 1983, they'll do the exact same thing. All right, let's see if we can lead these guys. Here, yeah, stay back. Fine, come and get me. I dare you. Nope. And there I got a little stuck on the rock. Darn, and then the rock fell. Alright, we'll try it again. Yeah, see, the movement is not exactly like the arcade, but sound is so good, and I can't complain because it's playing so well. Oh, yeah, and then the pumping works. You can hold down and do a slow pump, or you can do a really fast tap, tap, tap. Wow. Man. At first I thought this was going to be a little rough because whenever we saw official Frogger come home, oh, there's two enemies there, on home computers on the NEC PC 6001 in Japan, it didn't really look like Frogger, or same thing with Amador. It didn't look or play this way. This, though, this is playing exactly like Dig Dug. You know you're playing Dig Dug, and I'm having way too much fun for this. Alright, let's see if we can lure a couple. No, it looks like it's not going to happen. Oh, yeah. You gotta be quick. And a little bit smarter. Let's see if we can lure these two away. Now, you notice I'm not going to be able to get the second guy, because it is not allowing me to dig. I got one of them. Man, but the music's so good. Yeah, that makes sense, Manly. They're doing it square by square. Here, come up here, buddy. Oh, he didn't take the bait. Enemies, though, are responding as if you were in the arcade, which is nice. You can't take them out through walls like you could in the arcade, because you were able to dig like a small piece of soil out of the way, but man, I'm very, very impressed. You would be so lucky to get this. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do this show. Chronologically Gaming was born because I learned about how many things that Japan got before we did, and I didn't want anything to be missed, and that's why we have this show. And this is one of the reasons why. They were playing this right here in November 1982. And I did see a source that said December, but it's still in 1982, the same year that Dig Dug was released. They got an official one at home. So cool. Alright, I don't think I'll be able to take this out. You can smash yourself on the rock still too, just like in the arcade. Awesome. Oh, I forgot there's two enemies there. Oh, darn. Now, it is a two-player game, but it's like the arcade. You're going to take turns. Yeah, that was the tiniest little bonus fruit. I remember them bigger. Weren't they bigger in the arcade? So there's no such thing as two-player Dig Dug. It's just going to behave like the arcades. Also notice there's no variations, game modes, or anything like that. It is just, you want to play with one or two people, and that's it. And you're going to get Dig Dug, and you're going to like it, because this is it. This is Dig Dug. No thrills, no frills. We've seen a few games that were variants of Dig Dug. The Adventures of Robbie Roto is another one we saw in the arcades. We actually saw it before Dig Dug. Don't know if that's official or not. We even saw The Pit, that was in the arcade, which was kind of like Dig Dug. Mr. Do is also out in the arcades, and then Digger, which was the poor man's Dig Dug in the arcade. All of those variants, though, they're all in the arcade. We have seen digging video games, though. This is the 16th digging, like, arcade game that we've seen so far, and we've even seen some on the home computers that are kind of ahead of their time, but they're very slow. They're not nearly as fun as Dig Dug. All right, looking good. Let's see if we can take him out. Yep, they play the music too. If I stand still, the last enemy that when he's leaving, that's really the big thing about this compared to all the other games on home computers is the amount of music they're putting in while you're playing the game. That's what really. Oh yeah, we've seen him do the flame, but let me see. I have to lure this one away, and I can get this guy before he comes down. I thought I could. Nope. That's really funny how the fruit is so tiny. Also notice how they're doing one character sprites. No way. Yeah, not the same. You can see really tiny. Look how See how the Rygar's flame is really, really small? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, he got me through the side there. Yeah, so this is excellent. Of all the games you can play on all home computers, for the very first time you can see any Dig Dug, we are not going to see any ports. I actually can't tell you about other variants of Dig Dug before we finish 1982, but there is nothing else official until we hit 1983. And I know they were licensed by Namco, but they were done by other developers. Yeah, minor adjustments, but if you're familiar with the variants that are, or the Dig Dug... What? That was a weird thing that happened. The other Dig Dugs is going to be like on the Atari systems. This is pretty good for the first time. There's some other there are other ones that are going to be poor than this, so I kind of feel bad for those. That at one point I thought, oh, it's not going to be so bad, but after this, I'm thinking, man, they got a lot to live up to now. All right, yeah, let the ratings fly. I already see 4.5 stars of all the games you can play across all computers right now. That sounds actually about right. James is saying 4. Yeah, how the last enemy runs away or runs us over. Yeah, he's gonna run out of here. Man, the sound, I can't tell you enough how good it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for those two. They're mashed together into one, but man, it's really, really good. So great port. The sound is the highlight for this one because you are going to be playing, if you were on the Sword M5, playing with that disc for their hand controller, and the disc, I can understand you having a little frustration moving around because you have to abide by the tile system that this Dig Dug is programmed by. Oh, I almost got it. But every time you step, it makes the tunes. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, a little less accurate, but it's still really good. Yeah, and if you think about it, I don't know how many other people got the Sword M5 outside of Japan. There was plenty of systems in Japan that would go to Europe and a few other regions, but I don't know if Europe actually got any of this system. Oh, nope, come over here. And there he's going to make a run for it. Thought you could get away from me, eh? Yeah, there you go. Another 4.5. Yeah, throw out double ratings. Sure, why not? Yeah, I see 4. Oh, gosh, lots of high ratings for this one. I love Dig Dug. So that is our taste of Dig Dug. First time released ever for any port. The very first time at home you could play Dig Dug. This is way too good. Yeah, it's so much fun to play Dig Dug too. There's also nothing else like this at this quality of a digging arcade game. When I said there were 16 other games digging, I'm just saying you're under the ground digging. It's not playing like this. It was so nice. Oh, it was in the UK. Okay, nice. So the very first time you saw this, it was Namco that did this one. It was in Japan. So I'm going to go way up. Of all the games you could play across all home computers right now, I will concede the 4.5 is it. Dig Dug. Whether you're a fan or not, you got to admit, that was really impressive for a home computer. So nice. All right, there's nowhere else to go but down, I guess, from here. Let's see what our next release is. Coming up next, we're going to the Commodore VIC-20. This is Antimatter Splatter. Here's the box for Antimatter Splatter. Now, the very first time you saw this was in North America by Nufcop. Antimatter Splatter. Look at everybody running away. Now, Nufcom does something like this where they have Stonehenge on the front of all their boxes. I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure there's a story that Nufcom has behind it, but every single one of their boxes has that. This is a bunch of people running away from stuff being blown apart. You flip it over the back, it's for your VIC-20. What manner of alien is this? One that would extinguish your entire population with antimatter. That's what manner? Not sure I follow that one. And so the back of it has cassette disc or cartridge. If we can, we try to get these on cartridge if possible. It is then released later in the United Kingdom by Rabbit Software. Here it is. So the front of their box in Europe of Antimatter Splatter. Still blowing stuff up. This is actually a really good box recreating what the game is. When you know what the game is, it's a very cartoonish, well done recreation of it. Yeah, I'm glad we got the good stuff out of the way before we go into other things. Not to bash Antimatter Splatter yet. All right, let's pop it and play some of this antimatter splatter. This is Rabbit Software Bubble Bus Noofkop. It is November 20th, 1982. Whoa, it just went in. There was no options. I am moving left. I am moving right. I am shooting. And I'm supposed to protect all the citizens. Oh, I lost one. Oh, he had an auto fire too? Wait a second. Wait a second. It's removing the... It's blowing away the other level. So wait a second. If I blow them all away, is it just going to fall straight down? Maybe we have to watch our shots. Oh, okay. And if you blow an entire colored row away, then it comes back. But if your aim is true, then you won't be destroying as much of the... Yeah, we're gonna lose our population fast down at the bottom. Interesting take, but yeah, it's a simple fixed shooter. Move left, right, and fire, and it actually responds really well. Look how smoothly my tank at the bottom is moving. And it looks like it reset again. Cool. Yeah, so this is only on the Commodore VIC-20. It's our 313th game we've played on this home computer. It's the 16th game we've seen by Noofkop. Yeah, I'll play again. Let's go. Noofkop's done other games for us like Space Panic, Rescue from Newfon, and this is the 16th game we've seen by Rabbit Software. Nice and easy. Don't let the auto fire. So no matter what, though, the enemy is going to continue to shoot off. Looks like it's doing 2 hits, or 2 shots in one. And this is the 10th game we've seen by Bubble Bus Software. Bubble Bus has brought games like Exterminator or Cavern Run, or Cavern Run 64 if it was on the Commodore 64. Rabbit Software, we've seen games like Nightcrawler and Paratroopers. So this is about the same fare we've seen for this company. And yeah, it's fast-paced shooter, and the mechanic of blowing away the platforms and having to make sure your aim is correct. Otherwise, less of the platform goes away, and you're going to have... Oh, wait, it reset. So it made it a little easier for us, but... Alright, yeah, it's a really good score attack game, though. Like, right now, you would have an okay time with this. And usually the way this is presented, if you saw the screenshot, you wouldn't be as impressed, but it's actually playing really well. It's pretty smooth. Using even character set graphics on the Commodore VIC-20. Alright, I'm not going to shoot. It makes me not want to just fire tons of shots because you're going to be blowing away all the platforms, making everything come down faster. I like it. Cool gimmick. It still is very simple idea and control. This is what we consider on the show a fixed shooter, which means you're just moving left, right, and fire. Fixed shooter was first seen with Space Invaders. This is our 376th space fixed shooter that we've seen on the show since the beginning of all video gamedom. So yeah, you kind of get the idea of how to play one of these games. The best of the best on home computers for fixed shooters at this point is games like the Arcade Machine. Gorf is also out there. AE, which is really good. Bandits, Centipede, the official ones available right now. Demon Seed, Falcons, Galaxian, Grid Runner, Video Vermin, all those really, really good are like the top tier fixed shooters. Let's move left, right, and fire and shoot at stuff. And so this one, I'd say it's still around the average range. It does sound like Jaws, right? Yeah, the smooth shot is what's setting this apart from some of the other ones we've played, but we've played some other shooters like Centipede variants that offer you a little bit more movement, and they're changing things up. Oh man, this is nuts. You're supposed to keep all the enemies alive. Can we even get that alien? Can I shoot that alien at the top? I don't think so. Looks like not gonna happen, right? Yeah, but it sounds like the thumping sound of Jaws. Let's see what happens if I don't die. And the... Eventually you have to take out the last human, right? Come on. That's so funny. So if I stay here in the middle... Oh, wow. It is... light. Okay, it lights everything up, but then all of a sudden it just erases and goes away. Yeah, that's it. This is an in-the-zone kind of game. You totally can get there. What? He's my last human is not dying, and it turns out yes, I cannot hit the alien. Okay, I wanted to confirm that. So the source, you can't do anything about it. There you go. There's a taste of antimatter splatter. Of all the games you can play across all home computers, it is pretty average fare. I would say, even though it's running smoothly, it still is not enough to really warrant anything that's even like 3 stars. I'm gonna have to go a gentleman's 3. I like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, I wouldn't even go as high as that, just because we've seen so much. There's so many really good games for the Commodore VIC-20. We've even seen games that are really, really well done. Space Invaders games that I've said 2.5. Curtis is saying 3, 3.5 from Manly. Wow, yeah. Oh, Original Twist, I got a 3.5 there. Yeah, I'm not as impressed. I'll go 2.5 stars of all the games across all home computers. And just because we had so much fun, I'm actually going to go back. Let's play more Dig Dug to fill the night, because this is just too much fun. Dig Dug on the Sword M5. I really want to see how this is going to compare to other ports we have later. For the very first time, we're going back to play this because it's too good. I really want to point out all the nitpicks now, because when you think of Dig Dug in the arcade and what's available to play in the arcade, this one is doing something that... Oh, they trapped me. Doing something where they're allowing us to have the arcade experience, like a bare-bone arcade experience, and they're not adding any frills or extras, and it's still excellent. Because they're relying on the power of pure Dig Dug to make the game good. It's bold, and it works. I also want to get better at how to play this. So this guy's a little bit too close. Yeah, he won't make it. Oh, he did. Nice. Adding the mechanic of the rock in the game is a really nice touch, too. Better run. Whoa. He ghosted. I'll go for fruit instead and see if we can still catch him. Yes. Alright, we'll go for the side. Yeah, the play control of your pump, is very well done. I was actually expecting that to be more stilted. Your movement is what's stilted in this version, but it's still awesome. Oh, he got me with... Oh, well, there you go. Someone asked about the Rygar flame, and there it is. And then he's going to make a run for it. And I've been moving the entire time, but if you don't and stand still, there's no sound. Let me just stand still. Look. The game's playing, and just like in the arcade, when you move, you make the music happen. Oh, got me with the fire again. Yeah, that's excellent. That's it, Marshall. It's flaming on. It also makes me think of when Frogger came home first and Konami did it for the PC 6001. Frogger did not get this justice for the first time you could play Frogger at home. This looks... I really wish they did something like this for the first time on a Japanese home computer, because... and I believe we might see a port of Frogger for this computer. Because I'm kind of like... Someone mentioned in the chat about testing as the benchmark for your computer, playing Dig Dug. One of my benchmarks is Frogger, because you can find Frogger on almost any computer now, too. Yeah, I dig the music. It's awesome. We gotta get more rock smashing in. I also want to see how the difficulty ramps up, because they've added multiple enemies at a time, but that's pretty good. If you tuned in last episode, I said if we had enough time, we'd be seeing the very first real-time strategy game for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I hate to break it to you, I'm using that time to play Dig Dug. So, I got no excuse. We gotta play Dig Dug. Rygar's trying to run away. I also double-checked when you play the 2-player mode if, when you take turns, if there's any nuance changes or anything like that. Nope. All it is what you'd expect playing in the arcade. Oh, he got me. Once you die, you know, the other player takes over, that kind of thing. Nope, nope. Wasting the lives. Oh, see right there. That's the corner you can sometimes get stuck on using the Joy controller. All right. Yeah, this one is another computer that you can see easily becoming like a console. All right, so there you go. Having a fun, way too much fun night. Now we got to put our video game playing on pause. Thanks so much for joining me and indulging me playing even more Dig Dug. I'm really excited to see all the ports we are going to get because we're going to be playing and seeing everything. There's the first one. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, the ZX Spectrum's first real-time strategy game. The best chess on the Intellivision, and we are not strong to the finish because I don't think we ate our spinach on the Philips video pack. That's it for today, and like I always say, I see what you're trying to do, Japan. You can stop making home computers because you have enough. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.